There are a lot of little and big steps that have to happen in order to get on the other side of someone becoming a donor. The first is registry. Those that make that choice to become a registered organ, eye, and tissue donor, that's the first step. The next step, unfortunately, is someone that may have a critical injury or they have passed away, and the hospital refers that donor to us. Once we evaluate them and they have potential, we then reach out to the family.
Donation coordinators are mostly nurses, so they're used to that being in the hospital setting, that grief setting, and they take the time to sit down with those families, and the work that they do is incredible. They guide the family. They're also taking care of that, patient who is going to become the donor. They explain the process of how donation is going to work.
There's a lot of communication that has to happen between the family, the hospital, a medical examiner, or a funeral home in order to get that donor here to Gift of Life to carry out that legacy. It sounds simple, but it is a lot of moving parts, and we have to do it in a very quick timeline. For tissue specifically, we have 24 hours after death to make that tissue donation happen. For organ donation, it depends. There's a lot more that goes into that far as allocating organs. It can take upwards up to 2 to 5 days to allocate organs and manage the patient to get them ready for organ OR.
What has to happen when a potential donor is being evaluated? First of all, the hospital has to call us. They have to meet clinical triggers set up by the hospital. They call Gift of Life. Gift of Life, in turn, will triage a coordinator to go to the hospital to evaluate electronically through the EMR, talk to the nurse, talk to the doctor, touch base with everybody, respiratory, just to see where they're at. That's kind of where the process begins, where we evaluate each organ separately. Then we look at things specific to organ matching. Most of it's blood work. Some of it's not. Some of it's off-site. So some of it's running for a heart cath or a CT of the chest, abdomen, and pelvis to look at the lungs, the liver, and the kidneys and the ureters. Even though that sounds like this little bit, it takes this much to do. It is a lengthy process.
So once the team obtains authorization for donation, my recovery team then brings that donor into the OR, performs a sterile prep of the donor, and then moves into the recovery process, which looks just like any kind of surgical process. They recover skin, bones, tendons, heart for valves, veins, nerves, just a variety of tissue types that can be transformed to help heal and save others' lives. So, for example, skin used for burn victims or for breast reconstruction post-mastectomy, bone and tendons used for sports injury repair, nerves used to restore the ability for people to walk. It's really, truly incredible.
We continue the care that was started from the nurses, the doctors, and then our field staff goes on site, or our authorization specialist, talk to the family on the phone, and then we just continue the care primarily after the donation. It's really important for those families to know that they're not alone and now they're part of a community. They made a decision in a really difficult time to help strangers. All those recipients that are waiting, whether it's tissue or organs, it's our responsibility to continue showing love and support to those families.
Outside of the donor, the family is the most important thing in my book. They deserve to be taken care of.